Hey, this is Amy at Pursuit of Recovery. Just wanted to share with you all about what individual counseling looks like. Go to our website, pursuitofrecovery.com, and you can check it out. But let me share with you what we're going to do. So when you come in and make an appointment to see us, whether it be video chat or in person, what we do is do the best of a clinical assessment. After that assessment, if you are needing more than what we can give, we're going to work with a professional to find that for you, especially when it comes to detox, whether it be alcohol, whether it be benzodiazepines, or whether it be your stimulant drugs, prescription or not. So we're going to make sure, first of all, that we're a good fit for you. Anyway, so when we talk about addiction and when we talk about substance abuse, what are we talking about? We're talking about we have taken a substance, whether overly used a prescription or picked up a street drug or picked up legal alcohol to actually numb our emotions because it makes us feel good. It makes us feel right, and then sometimes it makes us feel invincible. It's like the alcohol's the cape or the drug's the cape, and then we just become this superhero, super flying through life. And what happens is we are emotionally numbing ourselves. And after a while, that emotional numbing turns into physical numbing. We're going to help you get through it. So whether it's underlying issues, whether that regards to trauma, whether it regards to emotional trauma, physical trauma, spiritual trauma, whatever that may be, we want to get to the root cause. Because once we get to the root, we can pull it up, we can address it, and we can bring it to light. So when I work with families and they come to me and they have a loved one that needs help, we start talking. We have the conversation. The biggest conversation we have is, what is your role in your loved one's life? So once we identify that role, we have a lot to work with. We want to bring clarity and positive change to all of our families. That outcome may be outpatient for your loved one. That outcome may be detox and inpatient for your loved one. So family systems are part of the problem. They're not part of the solution. So we at Pursuit of Recovery want to bring you to the solution. And the solution is changed behaviors. The solution is not identifying necessarily that you have dysfunction, not identifying that you're codependent. It's you're a family in crisis. You know, Deborah and Jeff J talk about that in the book, It Takes a Family. You don't want to talk and tell families you're dysfunctional. I don't either. We want to tell you you're a family in crisis who needs help. So when we start working with you as a family, we're going to define several things. A, what is your relationship with the addict or alcoholic? B, what kind of care do they need? Inpatient, outpatient? We're going to look at that as well. And then C, is your family willing to make the commitment, just like we ask your loved one to make the commitment of getting the help they need? Because you see, when families come together and we work through codependency behaviors, we're going to work through enabling behaviors, and we're going to look at what your actual role is in your loved one's life. There's an opportunity, because if we don't recognize, we cannot restore. So recognizing what your role is in your loved one's life is so important. So we're going to be here. We're going to look at this with you. We're going to work through you, whether it be Zoom call or whether it be face-to-face. Family counseling is so important, especially because when we send our loved ones off to treatment, if we don't do the work ourselves, guess what? They come back and the work is for nothing, because our families are so important. And families, I will tell you, are not just about the parents or the spouse or the kids. Family systems is about our colleagues. They're about our coworkers. They're about our friends, because a lot of times our friends are closer than our family. And with family counseling, we want to look at boundaries. You're allowed to have boundaries. Boundaries are about emotional, financial, spiritual, mental, and physical. So all of these boundaries you're allowed to have with a loved one that is struggling with addiction. Boundaries are set up to heal and to keep safe, and they're never set up to hurt. So interventions in itself, there's several different ways to do them. You know, there's different models, and Pursuit of Recovery and myself, you know, I don't believe that everyone deserves the same format. Everyone needs the same format. Every family that I work with is unique, you know, and I don't bring in a one style fits all. I'm going to work with you and the family for 2 full days. Day 1 is going to be without your loved one. We're going to write letters. We're going to talk about past. We're going to talk about trauma. We're going to talk about history. We're going to talk about relationships and where you're at with your loved one. And we're going to wrap that up, and day 2 is actual intervention, and that's where we go to your loved one, your friend, your colleague, and we're going to talk to them from the heart, you know, because when we talk to others, I will tell you, I've found to be so beneficial is when I'm talking to you, when I'm talking to your loved one, or when I'm talking to anyone, I am sincere. And I'm going to approach you, and I'm going to approach them with telling and finding out what your needs are and why you're at where you're at today, and that you need help. And when I present with love and compassion, you know what? How they take it is on them. And what I mean by that is I'm going to present facts. I'm going to work with your loved one and make sure that they understand why you're there and what is going to transpire. I will also work with your treatment facility of your choice. We work with health insurance. If it's a cash pay, I want to find a facility that is in your budget. Interventions and in itself, inpatient treatment can be expensive. And I understand that. I am not committed to any certain facility. I love what I do, and I hope that you'll reach out to us. If you're even considering an intervention, you can go to my services, click family counseling, and we can have a session and discuss. I wanted to speak to you all today about legal support. This is a piece so close to my heart because, you know, with alcoholism and addiction, a lot of times it takes us down the road of having a record. It takes us down the road of interactions with police officers, and it takes us down the road of bars, whether that be prisons or jails or institutions. So when we work with families and their legal counsel, what happens more times than not is addiction has been lurking in some form or fashion. And once a criminal attorney is obtained, what we do is we come in and we meet with the client. We do a drug and alcohol assessment, and then we make a professional recommendation, whatever that may be. A lot of times we recommend detox and inpatient. The reason is because if they have come to the point where they have gotten in trouble, whether criminally, charges, etc., then there's help that's needed for your loved one. But also there's help for you, because what families don't realize is a lot of times the more we continue to bail out our loved one with no repercussions, they continue in the same cycle. So let's put a stop to that. Let's put a stop to the criminal behavior. Let's put a stop to all of this right now. And let's choose a new path. And when we choose a new path for our loved one, what that entails is I'm going to work with your criminal attorney. We're going to do the assessment on your loved one. We're going to make that recommendation, and then we're going to take that information to the judge. We're going to work with your criminal attorney to make a professional recommendation of an inpatient treatment program, and then after that, even progressively moving towards even a sober living. And then we're going to put your loved one on a monitoring program for up to 2 years. But that's not it. What is so important, families, is you. We're going to work with you on a monthly basis, because you see, like I said before, nothing changes if nothing changes. And you all are going to be given the opportunity to change your behaviors as well. Because if we're asking our loved one to change, why aren't we going to? It has to run parallel. Treatment for the addict or alcoholic and treatment for the family. So yes, so let us know if you're interested. Give your criminal attorney our information, and I look forward to working with you so soon. Thanks.